The Truth Enforcer's War Bond is here, and it comes with the best team play weapon in the entire game, the Halt. If you find yourself in frequent need of naps on the battlefield, ensure the bots and bugs respect your nap time by taking one of their own with a primary that fires stun grenades and armor-piercing flechette rounds. My name is Commissar Kai, and today we're going to be seeing just how far we can push this beauty of a primary by exploring its playstyle and synergies against both the bots and the bugs. There's a lot to unpack with this one, so let's get into it. First, we need to address some of the bellyache I've heard around the fleet about the usefulness of utility weapons and stratagems. Every time I talk about how effective something like the shield relay, smoke grenades, or the new halt are, I am bombarded with dumb opinions like, but why should I take utility when I can just take more damage? I'd rather kill stuff than stun it. Stagger and stuns are useless when you can just kill the enemy. I am tired of hearing these treasonous thoughts manifesting themselves in my eardrums. So it seems like this commissar needs to educate you cadets. You ask why you should take utility when you could just pile on more damage instead? Well, this is why, cadets. There, they're all stunned.
Was that impaler charger come in?
Stop! What? You violated the law.
Exposed.
There we go.
As Bane once said, it'll be extremely painful.
Yep, do it.
Are you sure I can't throw a napalm in there?
You can do it afterwards if you want.
No, it's
I'm
fine.
gonna throw a Gatling Sentry.
You don't want to be near. Oh, that's a lot.
It's fine, I got him stood. Take him down. The enemy cannot blow you to pieces or eat your feet first if you disable their ability to fight back. There will be times when you miss that recoilless rifle shot on a charger, or round a corner into a pack of heavy devastators. And when that happens, the ability to stun or stagger the enemy is almost always going to be more useful than just chunking another high damage stratagem at the problem. Now, of course, you shouldn't neglect your firepower, but if you're not bringing at least one weapon out of your primary, secondary, or grenade options that has stagger or the stun effect, you are just making things a lot harder on yourself. If you find yourself frequently getting overwhelmed on the battlefield, I would bet all 8 of my toes that it's because you're not bringing enough utility to the fight. So with that cleared up, let's get into why the Halt is one of the best guns in the game, and I ain't just yanking your chain on that one, barging into that top spot right along with the Purifier and explosive crossbow. The Halt is unique for a primary because it has 2 separate tubes of ammunition. One for stun rounds, which is mostly what we're going to be using, and one for armor-piercing flechette rounds. And these act independently of each other. You can swap between these 2 ammo types by holding down your reload button and pressing your fire button, but this can feel clunky at times and take some getting used to. Thankfully, you can make this process a bit faster by changing some hotkeys.
We start in options, mouse and keyboard, change bindings at the top, and then at the top you go to the tab Combat. Scroll down until you see Open Weapon Wheel. I just rewind that to any other key, any other button on your mouse. And I would also recommend changing long press to just press, because you have an option there when you click the little option on the left. It says long press. You can switch it to just press rather than having to hold the button down first. That makes it a lot more intuitive.
Now you can more quickly swap between ammo types without needing to hold down your reload button. While the flechette rounds are effective for lobotomizing anything that gets too close to you, the stun rounds are really what make this weapon so incredible. Before the release of the Truth Enforcer's War Bond, if you wanted to take on a charger without bringing dedicated anti-tank support weapons or stratagems, you would have to rely on your grenade slot to get the job done, either with thermites for a direct kill or with stuns to clamp that booty. But now you can stun a charger mid-stride by just shooting beneath their giant stupid face. This means you can stun them from the front as they're charging you. This makes things like the machine guns and the grenade launcher much better on the bug front, since you won't feel as nervous as a raw cadet trying to do the oil puzzle while I stare in judgment over their shoulder whenever a charger comes barreling towards you. Oh, Jazz, there you go.
Well, when you're a mech, you kind of just do what you
guy?
want.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm the puzzle guy?
You're the puzzle guy.
When was this decided?
It was decided when I like staring at people while they do this. Beyond opening up a bunch of new loadouts by giving you an answer to chargers from your primary weapon, the Halt has even more to give. We can use the stun rounds to make packs of enemies drift off to sleep while we give them a lethal injection of 40 mics or high caliber machine gun rounds. Bug patrols become a joke when you have this thing on your belt. It's just a couple of shells knocks them out of the fight for a whole 5 seconds. Plenty of time to call our girl and let her give them a free showing of the sound of freedom. The Halt also has some incredible synergies with your stratagems. Anything that needs time to do its damage, like the Orbital Gatling Barrage, Orbital Gas Strike, Eagle Napalm, or Sentries, are gonna thank you for bringing this beast of a primary. You can simply stand in front of a bug breach, throw out your Napalm Strike, fire off a few stun rounds, and sit back enjoying watching that kill counter tick up as the bugs collectively take a nap in an 1800-degree heating blanket. If you want to bring sentries, the Halt is the perfect weapon for keeping the bugs back while your sentries use up all their ammo instead of standing there awkwardly while the bugs nibble away at their health. And if you see a charger making its way towards one of your precious little murder machines, you can just shoot it a couple of times in the face to stop it dead in its tracks. Well, below its face, but y'all see the point. All of this is on top of the fantastic medium armor penetrating flechette rounds. Now, I won't lie to y'all, these shells are not the best at killing really anything, but they are incredibly good at killing all light and medium armored enemies. The low shell count and the small amount of flechettes coming out of the barrel does make dealing with things like hunter swarms a bit harder. That said, you will at least have an answer to any light or medium armored enemy that gets too close. This is why I like to pair the Halt on bugs with things like the grenade launcher, Liberator guard dog, and machine guns. Stun everything with your primary and finish them off with your stratagems. For example, a good loadout with the Halt might look something like this. Halt for stunning groups of enemies and blasting things that get too close. Grenade launcher for clearing out packs of bugs and closing bug holes. The dagger for clearing up any trash mobs that ain't worth your ammo. And thermite grenades for any bile titan that gets too close. I'd also highly recommend either the G6 frag grenades or incendiary impacts if you're fine with just ignoring bile titans and letting your team handle them. I know this might sound like a wild idea to some of you, but it is okay to just leave certain targets to your team if you prefer to specialize in your role. Not everyone on a team needs to be able to handle every enemy, especially not things like these freakish daddy longlegs, since they are more rare compared to all other enemy types, and most Helldivers bring at least one answer to these stilted freaks anyway. If you see your team loaded up with recoilless rifles, Quasar, or EATs, then feel free to leave the thermites at home. For stratagems, I'd recommend either the supply pack or the guard dog, Orbital Gatling Barrage, and Eagle Napalm Strike. The supply pack really leans into the supportive playstyle, while the guard dog lets you waltz into fields of enemies, letting the power of aimbot carry you through the day. The Orbital Gatling Barrage and Eagle Napalm Strike synergize extremely well with the Halt stun rounds, and are available frequently so you'll always have an answer to any horde. If you like the sound of this loadout, then like the video as well. That one click is the best way to support the channel and manage democracy by helping spread the word of utility, stagger, and friendship to the rest of the fleet. If you're in the market for new friends and working together as a team, then enlist in my platoon by joining the Discord linked in the description below. My commandos are the most active and team play oriented Helldivers in the fleet, and we're always happy to make new friends.
Sir,
Got a garage.
you are being subject to a drip check by your local democracy officer.
Yes, sir. I'll
UI.
comply. Alright.
UI.
Okay, good.
UI. You get to live.
Now let's go take a good look at how to make the bots halt their nonsense. Okay, I'm sorry, that one was bad. But before we get into how the Halt performs on the bot front, I'd like to share a tale with y'all of a crazed rat's journey to take out a single bot fabricator. Join me as we watch our first ever showing of The Odyssey of the Rat. Next one. Oh, wait,
Hey, it's
I do need to
T3, can you go, Rat, can you go deal with that? I threw the
What am I
resupply
dealing
towards
with?
you, Chunky. There's a little fucking outpost behind us.
A few moments later.
I may be boned. I may be boned.
Don't be boned. Survive. That's an order.
I'm trying.
Try harder, damn it.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
I'm the guy who didn't bring anything to deal with big groups of enemies, man. I'm like the one guy who isn't supposed to be alone.
Alright, Chunky, can you go save him, please?
I'm trying. I was just trying
I
to
don't know
do it
how
from 300
I
meters
shouldn't-
away.
I shouldn't still be alive, to be honest.
3:28 a.m.
Jesus, Rat, what in the fuck did you start over here?
Why do you think I've been struggling?
Why? How did this happen?
This is what I had to run away from for the past like 5-10 minutes.
1 eternity later.
Ping the ground, you get yourself 13 meters away from it, you aim all the way up as far as you can,
Stop.
and then you throw. And then you go stand on your ping,
Now go stand on the
and
paint.
it'll land on you.
You what?
Oh no!
It's a napalm!
Oh no! Why didn't you like throw a gun or something? You throw a fucking
That's all I
orbital.
I don't fear death. I don't fear death. Only the failure of the mission.
Rat,
I don't fear death.
aren't
I
you
only-
supposed to live? Yeah, alright. That
I'll
was...
stim you, hold on.
That was... I feel like that was a very poignant thing about the state of this mission. He survived all of that only to be killed by his own hubris. Truly a tale for the ages. For his valor in battle, refusal to give up, and for nearly destroying a single bot fabricator, it is my honor to present our crazed rat with this medal. Now on to the bots. Bots can be the most frustrating experience for some Helldivers. Constantly losing control of your character and being tossed around like a civilian in a bot smoothie machine can feel downright helpless. But what if I told you could turn that feeling back around on the clankers with the Halt? Done anything Devastator shaped or smaller with a single pellet and leave them wide open to the birth of freedom. Blast apart combat striders with ease by shooting them in the junk 3 times with our spicy sewing needles. Done those pesky Hulks chasing your buddy around with a quick shot to its back before swapping back to liberating your targets with peak efficiency. Ask your democracy officer about using the Halt today. Seriously though, aside from the Purifier and explosive crossbow, there ain't any other weapons in the game as effective at taking on both factions as the Halt. I still can't decide which faction it feels better to fight against with that thing because it is just so strong. On the bot front, the main threats aren't usually their armored units, but the absolute deluge of fire coming from the Devastators, Combat Striders, and all the little bots. The Halt makes dealing with all those targets painless and sets them up to get run over by Eagle Strafing runs or flattened to sheet metal by orbital barrages. Since you can handle big groups with just your Halt, stratagems, and grenades, you can really pair this weapon up with any support weapon of your choosing, and it will be just as effective. It doesn't have the same issue on the bug front of getting swarmed by small, fast units, so you don't need a horde clearing support weapon. Instead, you can tailor your loadout to whatever playstyle you enjoy, safe in the knowledge that the Halt will put a stop to whatever nefarious plans the clankers have cooked up for your squad. For synergies on the bot front, we have a whole heap of options, but I'll share my favorite with y'all. We'll be taking the Halt, Senator, and Thermites or frag grenades depending on your support weapon of choice for our, well, weapons. For our stratagems, we have plenty of options, but I thoroughly enjoyed bringing the Railgun Liberator Guard Dog, which is just crazy strong on the bot front now with its bigger magazine, pinpoint accuracy, and medium penetration, which all synergize really well with our primary, Eagle Strafe and Run, and 1 Flex Pick. Personally, I'd recommend either the HMG emplacement, Rocket Sentry, or some form of orbital barrage. If you prefer having an easier time with tanks, factory striders, and cannon towers, swap the railgun for the Quasar, and thermites for frag grenades to get you a bit of extra horde clear. Either way, you'll be an absolute menace to those clankers by making them slump over at the mere thought of freedom knocking on their door. The Halt is the most powerful team play based primary in the game, and it is not even close. Giving us this much utility in the form of stun rounds and the ability to pierce through medium armor all in one gun has busted open our options for team play. Roles like combat medics with stim pistols and supply packs, or engineers with heaps of sentries and gas will benefit greatly from picking up the Truth Enforcer's Warbond and grabbing the Halt. Over the 10-ish missions I played for this video, only a few went by without my teammates praising the damn weapon for being so frickin' effective.
Thank you so much for telling me about the Halt. I actually love it.
You know, I think that bodes well for the video. It can cater to almost any playstyle as long as you recognize the value of stunning every enemy on screen while your buddies fill them with lead. Implore y'all to not fall for the saying of why bring utility when you can bring damage, since that mindset is completely antithetical to the idea of team play. This is a cooperative game and it is meant to be played with others. Since the game released, we've been sold on this idea that everyone must drop into a mission being able to cover any threat, otherwise you're somehow making yourself weaker or opening yourself up to a failure. But there is no cooperative or team-based game that works on this principle. If you hate yourself like me and played League of Legends for any amount of time, it's like saying, why play Lulu when you can play Brand? You do it because it's powerful to support your team by making the enemy's lives much more annoying and much more brief. If you whiff a recoilless rifle shot on a Rampage and Charger, you might just get killed. But if you miss with the Halt, you get 7 more chances to land that critical stun effect. If you resonate with this idea and want to help me spread it throughout the stars, consider buying me a coffee. I am so close to my goal for the new Super PC. And once I hit it, I'll start streaming games for y'all. This old laptop just ain't up to the job. But until next time, this is Commissar Kai, signing out.